So let's investigate the first area of where luck plays a very big role in the wealth that you have. So we talk about inheritance. Now, inheritance, and we talk about inheritance in a slightly more expanded context. It's not only inheritance by birth, but inheritance that would happen even by virtue of a marriage. Because that's quite relevant, right? A lot of times you will get married into a family that is wealthy, and both the ways, I mean, for the male as well as the lady. Now, having said that, does luck play a big role here? Of course it does. I mean, just imagine if you are born in a family that is wealthy. Think about it that from day one, you have everything pretty much working for you in your favor. You are already in a very privileged situation. That itself was lucky, right? To be having to get a birth in that family, to be born with a, like they say, a silver spoon in your mouth. So privileges come automatically, connections come automatically. Education, of course, you'll go to the best institutes which will give you right from your schooling education to the higher education and to the professional education. Everything's your way. So luck obviously has a very, very big role to play in terms of birth. If you talk about an alliance, a wedding, a marriage, then again, connections would be a part of it. Privileges would all, come as a part of it. Now, another thing to look at is if you are born in a wealthy country. Now, see, a wealthy country has its own advantages. Think about all the facilities that you get. Think about the wealthy countries that you can think about today. Dubai, for example, is on everyone's mind. That's like your number one place to be. And if you've migrated there or if you're living there, then that's a place where there are lots of fortunes that are made. Think about some European nations like Switzerland, etc., which are very, very wealthy in their existence. Now, if you are born in this kind of a country as well, you have opportunities. Even the income that you will earn here will be at a minimum standard. That standard makes all the difference for you, right? Because it's that standard which will pay you the money, and as a result of which you'll be able to live that life that you're talking about. Again, luck playing a big role into this. If it's a combination of both, that you're born in a wealthy family, in a wealthy country, then of course, sky's the limit, as you can imagine. But very often, things don't exactly go as per planned. Sometimes things might just go haywire straight away. And there's a multitude of basically reasons for that. See, when you're born wealthy, and there's lethargy that might set in. There's a situation where you're not driven enough. The passion is sometimes missing. And there are a lot of these kind of factors because the money is already there. Why do you therefore need to earn more money? Or why do you need to have that additional source of wealth? Because whatever you want, whatever money can buy is available to you. So then, sometimes it also leads to bad decisions and poor investment choices, etc. And as a result of which, the money can also go away. See, there is not one or two, but there are umpteen examples, not only in our country, India, but elsewhere in the world also, where empires sort of perished by the time it was the second or the third generation. Because the first generation maybe created the wealth, the second and the third were not driven, they were not motivated, they didn't do enough about taking care of their money, and pretty much the money, was expired by the time the third or the fourth generation came into play. And I'm sure all of us know about examples like this, right? So, having said that, yes, it's a great, great advantage to be born here. But at the same time, there is a word of caution. There is a serious concern because things can go seriously wrong. And if they do go wrong, then you don't have much to do in terms of how do you correct it. See, then millions are spent around the whole world to safeguard and to protect the assets that you have. But then is that really like a possibility? Can assets really be stored and protected? How do you really do this thing, do protection of all your assets from any sort of eventuality that happens to your wealth? That's a topic for another day. It's another discussion altogether. But here, what we are doing in this series is we're talking about the kind of role luck plays in having money and what could possibly, go against you or go wrong and perhaps some of the things that you might want to do to ensure that the luck stays with you through and through, and you never have to worry about anything else in the world. You see?